Hey there, welcome to another episode of Moandain Designs. I'm your host Moandain. This video is part of my favorite series, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite light gun games. The light gun has always been around with most video game consoles, but with the newer generation stuff and LCD televisions and stuff like that, the technology has moved away from even making that possible. Now, there might be a way of developing that in the future, but as technology stands today, as I'm making this video, you just can't really effectively create a good reference point that is actually on the screen of the video game that you're playing using an LCD television. These are some of my favorite light gun games. In my collection, I actually have quite a few CRT televisions. Personally, I've found that if I'm going to be playing a light gun game, and I want to be standing, so I've created a special. I'm creating a special stand for that to hold a television that is a curved CRT a certain distance off of the ground. I believe it's 41 inches off the ground. So that I can be standing and comfortably play light gun games. And these are just my favorites. They're not in any particular order, but they're just some of my favorite light gun games. So first up we have Elemental Gearbolt on the PlayStation, released 1997 by Alpha Systems. It's also brought to the US via Working Designs. Of course, I'm going to have this game on my list of favorite light gun games. It's a Working Designs game. It has a wonderful storyline. The music is great. So many other people have gone over this game, and it is just a beautiful game. And I hope that it actually gets re-released by the spiritual successor to Working Designs, Gaijin Works. It deserves to be out there again. I don't think that it got the attention that it deserves from the gaming community. Next up we have Virtual Cop 2 on the Sega Saturn, released 1995 by Sega. The Virtual Cop series has always been really good, but my favorite is Virtual Cop 2. The light gun that I use is the Predator 2, and I forget who makes it, but I'm going to have a picture of the gun up on my screen. But Virtual Cop 2 is just a really good game. You're going through as a police officer, you're trying to save people, so there's people that you can shoot and there's people that you can't shoot, and it's just very well done. It's a little bit dated with some of the polygon stuff that's going on in it and everything, but it's again a very good light gun game. Next up we have Time Crisis 2 on the PlayStation 2, released 1997 by Namco. The Time Crisis series is one of the giants among light gun games. You always got to see, either in a movie theater, a bowling alley, or some sort of other arcade, you got to see a Time Crisis game where they had the foot pedal where you stepped on it and that was the trigger to step up and take aim and stuff, and the whole ducking to reload mechanic and various other things like that was very innovative. It brought more immersion to the game than just what a light gun by itself could do, and they just did a really wonderful job with this. Next up is House of the Dead 2 on the Sega Dreamcast, released 1998 by Sega. Now, the reason that this is on my list is because Sega got into some trouble and they decided that it wasn't worth it for them to release the light gun over here in the States, and so we had to rely on other light guns developed by Interact and various other companies, and I've actually looked into importing a official Sega Dreamcast light gun and just haven't really gotten around to it yet. But House of the Dead 2 is another arcade staple that has come to home consoles, and it's worth it. It's a great and wonderful game. It's a little bit cheesy, but that's part of its charm. Well, that's it for this episode of Moandain Designs. I'm your host, Moandain, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. If you like what you see, you can support me and my channel on Patreon by clicking one of the links below. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.